Hey everybody, it's Madeline. I just wanted to hop on really quick and show you one of the best practices that I try and teach all of my clients. It really is my goal when I'm working with people to not just build processes and get the most out of their account, but also teach them how to use it. One of the things I've found to be incredibly helpful is knowing how to search for something in LeadSimple. Did you know there's actually 4 different things you could search for? There's properties, there's people, there's processes, um, and there's a 4th. We're going to find that 4th together as I remember it. I want to start off by showing you the first one. If you go to your LeadSimple account, you'll see in the upper left-hand corner, there's a search bar. That search bar is what you get to unlock all sorts of different things with. And actually, now that I'm seeing this on my screen, LeadSimple tricked me a little bit. There are 4 different options, but 2 of them are types of people, types of ways to see people. So there's leads and there's contacts. We're going to start with leads. Leads are what you would find under your leads or pipeline page. So in this scenario, my husband and I, the property that we own is in this company's account. We are in here as both leads and previous renters. And so you would be able to see that if somebody has 2 different types of relationships with your company, they would have 2 different types of leads. You would also see this if they were once an applicant and also a tenant. You would see it if they were a vendor and also an owner. There's lots of different ways that you might find a lead. If you ever want to just have a quick way to do this and you only want to see the lead, just know that you can put L in front of the person's name and then start typing, and it'll get you to the lead page. The second part of this is contacts. Now, if you've dug around LeadSimple a little bit, you'll know the contacts page can be a little bit hard to understand. Just know this is a database. You don't have to keep up with it. You don't have to make it really nice and pretty. It is important information, so don't go through and delete a bunch of stuff. But this is going to be multiple different ways that I or my husband have communicated with this company in the time that we've been with them. So there's a few different things that we do, and a few different ways that we communicate, different email addresses, old email addresses. And so this is just kind of a log of different contact information. Now, if we were searching for a property, we would want to put in the property address. So let's do that for a second, and I'll show you what that looks like. Now, if you want to type in the entire process or entire property, you would be able to do so. But I want to show you that you could do some shorthand. So let's see what happens if we put in just the street address. So you'll see here, you'll find us again. You'll find us in the contacts occasionally, depends on how you have it set up. Okay, so this property definitely does exist. Don't panic if you didn't find it well enough. It might be because we have it typed in a certain way. A really easy thing to do would be to just put in the street number and see what comes up with that. That might give you an even easier thing. And here we are, there's the property. So this is the one that we were after. And you can see the difference was that the West in our address was fully typed out as opposed to it just being the W. So it might just be a typing thing or a naming issue. So you'll want to mess around with it. Typically though, I try and get as far as the street number, or maybe I'll just do the property name. So let's say we do this and see what comes up that way. Yep. So you could just do the street name and that might help too. One quick tip, if you go inside of the property, one thing I think people don't take enough advantage of is this dashboard of a property. You're able to see a lot of information such as who lives in it, how many units there are. If you click into the unit, you would be able to see what you're charging for rent. You'd be able to see custom fields on the side here. There's a lot in here that is helpful. If I go back to the property, what I want you to see is that there's also processes on the very far right side of the screen. If you search anything at all, it's going to pull up the different processes running for that property or for that person. So if you go back to my name and I scroll over to processes, you'll see we're actually in the middle of renewing our agreement with these people. So you'll see that our names are in the process name, and so it pulled up for us. This is super helpful if you're trying to get around your account easily. Instead of having to dig through everything and see what's going on, it's just a great way to save yourself a little bit of time. I hope this was helpful. I would love to hear what you are wanting to solve for next in your LeadSimple account, whether it's other click path saves or time savers, or maybe it's something that you're trying to build or a new idea. Drop it down in the comment, send me a message, shoot me an email. I'd love to help. If you need anything, you know where to find me.